Hi there, Mrs. Ortiz here, and we are going to go over Objective 3.2 for the third unit and for Geometry Honors. And so the title of this section is called Use Parallel Lines and Transversals. So in the previous lesson, you learned about what a transversal is and then the new angle pairs. So just a quick review of those angle pairs. Corresponding angles are in the same position, so angle 1 and 5 would be corresponding angles. Alternate interior angles are between the two parallel lines and go across the transversal, angle 3 and angle 6. Same side interior angles consecutive interior angles are on the in between the parallel lines again and on the same side of the transversal, like 4 and 6. And alternate exterior angles will be outside of the two parallel lines and alternating across the transversal, like 2 and 7. Okay, now remember there's other angle pairs too. So we've got angle pairs like vertical angles, 1 and 4. We've got linear pairs, 1 and 2, but those come from one of the previous units. So what we're going to do today is we're going to take a look at what happens to these specific angle pairs when the two lines being cut by the transversal are parallel. And that's our essential question for today. So when a transversal cuts through parallel lines, how does that impact the angle relationships? Okay, so what's very important today is that we're looking at these lines that are parallel. So we've got these lines, we can call these lines, like in this first box, A and B. And notice that they're parallel because we've got the two arrows there. So remember that that indicates parallelism. Okay, and so we want to see what happens when we have a transversal that passes through them when the lines are parallel. So the first relationship we're going to look at are the corresponding angles. So if we look at a pair of corresponding angles, like angle 1 corresponds to angle 5, and we know that our two lines are parallel when they were cut by this transversal, we'll call it M, or we could call it T for transversal if that helps. But if you have line A is parallel to line B, and you are cut by a transversal line M, then angle 1 and angle 5, they're corresponding angles, but more specifically, they're also congruent. And that just makes sense because if you have two parallel lines, they're never going to intersect. They're cut by the same line, so they're going to intersect at the same angle or the same slope, creating the same angle. Okay, so that's our first rule for today in this lesson. And it says if two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then the pairs of corresponding angles are congruent. Okay, and this is a postulate. And remember that we accept postulates to be true because they can't be proven, but intuitively they seem fine. Okay, so that's the postulate. We've got our figure, and our notation for this is going to say we need to match it with the actual postulate. So if two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, so our notation here says if A is parallel to B, and M is a transversal of A and B, okay, then corresponding angle pairs will be congruent. So for example, angle 1 is congruent to angle 5. Now keep in mind that there are 4 pairs of corresponding angles. So angle 1 is congruent to angle 5, 2 is congruent to 6, 3 is congruent to 7, and 4 is congruent to 8. Okay, so all 4 pairs have congruence. Okay, let's take a look at the next rule involving alternate interior angles. So let's start with the diagram again. So remember, alternate interior angles are going to go across the transversal. Trying to zoom in here. Okay, so alternate interior angles are between the two parallel lines. So again, if we call those lines A and B, and we can switch this to T for the transversal. Okay, so they're between A and B and they alternate across. So we're looking at angle 3 and angle 6. Okay, and when we look at this rule, we can, let's see if we can try to fill in the blank here. It says if two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then the pairs of alternate interior angles, for example, 3 and 6, are what? If we just take a look at 3 and 6, they appear to be acute. And if we look at the other pair, angle 5 and angle 4, they both appear to be obtuse. Okay, and that is because alternate interior angles are congruent. All right, so we can make the conclusion that they are congruent. And we see that in our picture. So angle 3 is congruent to angle 6, and angle 4 is congruent to angle 5, and that's because A and B are parallel. So again, for our notation, we're going to say if A is parallel to B and T is a transversal of A and B, then angle 3 is congruent to angle 6. And similarly, angle 4 is congruent to angle 5, okay? So that's the alternate interior angles theorem. Now, a theorem can actually be proven, okay? And so we will take a look at those proofs at some point, okay? For the next one, we have alternate exterior angles theorem. So again, if we look at the diagram and we look at the alternate exterior angles, angle 1 and angle 8 are alternate exterior angles. They both appear to be obtuse. Angle 2 and angle 7 are alternate exterior angles, and they appear to be acute, okay? And it is true that the alternate exterior angles are congruent if the lines A and B are parallel. Okay, so similar to alternate interior angles, if two parallel lines cut by a transversal, then the pairs of alternate exterior angles are congruent. So far easy enough, right? Corresponding angles are congruent, alternate interior angles are congruent, alternate exterior angles are congruent. So for our notation, we're going to say if A is parallel to B and T is a transversal of A and B, then angle 1 is congruent to angle 8, okay? And similarly, angle 2 is congruent to angle 7. All right, so alternate exterior angles. The last angle pair that we have to discuss are the consecutive interior angles. So let's look at consecutive interior angles. So angle 3, which appears to be acute, and angle 5, which appears to be obtuse, are consecutive interior angles. They're between the two transversals, or I'm sorry, they're between the two parallel lines A and B and cut by this transversal T, okay? And they're on the same side of the transversal. So if it's acute and obtuse, then the relationship for the consecutive interior angles theorem, again, this is a theorem meaning it can be proven, is if two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then the pairs of consecutive interior angles are supplementary. All right, so we are changing our course. The other three angle pairs were congruent, but these pair of angles add up to 180 degrees. So if A is parallel to B and T is a transversal of A and B, then angle 3 and angle 5 are supplementary. And remember that if they are supplementary, then you can make the conclusion, oops, oh, I'm really excited about them being supplementary. that the measure of angle 3 plus the measure of angle 5 is equal to 180 degrees. Okay, and similarly, that's going to be the same case for 4 and 6 too, right? So the measure of angle 4 plus the measure of angle 6 is also going to equal 180 degrees because they are also consecutive interior angles. Also, consecutive interior angles can be known as same side interior angles. Okay, so that might be another name that you would come across. All right, so let's take a look at these examples. It says, find the angle measure, tell which postulate or theorem was used. Okay, so we have this image over here, and number 1 is going to be different than number 2 is going to be different than number 3. Okay, they don't all tie together into the picture at the same time. So for number 1, it tells us that the measure of angle 1 is 144, and we're trying to find the measure of angle 5. So notice that our two lines are parallel here and here. Okay, that's very important. You can't make these conclusions without them being parallel. And angle 1 is 144, and we're trying to find the measure of angle 5. So the relationship between angle 1 and angle 5, that angle pair, those are called corresponding angles. Okay, and so from our postulates and theorems, we found that corresponding angles were congruent. So if 1 is 144, then 5 is 144. If I can get zoomed in here. Because, and then we're going to give the reason of the corresponding angles postulate. So we're going to say corresponding angles postulate. Okay, so I would like you to go ahead and take a look and try numbers 2 and 3. And then we'll take a look at number, you're going to do number 4 as well. And then we're going to take a look at number 5 here together. Okay, so in number 5, first we notice that we have our two parallel lines. Okay, so we have our parallel lines here. Okay, remember we cannot make any of these conclusions without those lines being parallel, and we're cut by a transversal. So let's just call this T and A and B. Okay, the angle pairs we've got here, if we name this angle 1, and we can go ahead and call this angle 2. Okay, so this is an exterior angle, it's outside the parallel lines, and this one is an interior angle. So we're looking for a relationship, but the problem is that there isn't one because it alternates and one's interior and one's exterior. So this is not an angle pair that we've named. So then what we're going to do is we're going to, if this is 78 degrees, angle 2, then we can go ahead and mark some of the other angles 78 degrees. So if this is 78 degrees, then this angle right here is also going to be 78 degrees by corresponding angles, okay? Then we can mark this one 78, and then this one 78 by vertical angles. And then we can use the linear pair postulate. We know that any two adjacent angles, like these two, have to add up to 180. So 180 minus 78 means that this is 102. All right, and if that's 102, then angle 1 is also 102 degrees, all right, by corresponding angles. So it's a little bit of a puzzle, but it's not too bad. But we found out that 3x plus 33 is equal to 102 degrees. And there's a whole variety of ways that you could have gotten there. And we're going to solve for x by subtracting 33. So let's see here, 102 minus 30 is 72 minus 3, I think puts us at 69. And then we're going to divide, we've got that equal to 3x, so we're going to divide both sides by 3, and x is equal to 23. And let's just make sure that that's all we needed to do in these instructions. It says, find the value of the variable, tell which postulate or theorem allowed you to write the initial equation. All right, so what did we use to do this? And there's a whole variety of things. So we actually used first corresponding angles and then linear pair. Okay, so corresponding angles postulate. followed by the linear pair postulate. And that was because the pair of angles that we were given is not a pair that has a name, so we had to do 2 steps. All right, so go back, take a look at that essential question again. When a transversal cuts through parallel lines, how does that impact the angle relationships? Okay, so if they're corresponding angles, alternate interior angles, or alternate exterior angles, as long as the lines are parallel, the angles are congruent. And consecutive interior angles have a supplementary relationship. All right, that's all for this lesson. Have a great day. Bye.